Hey, I don't really do stuff like this normally, but I wanted to make a short video about why Ryu is considered low tier in Street Fighter V. He actually has a variety of strong tools. His low forward is a strong, annoying low poke. His forward dash is fast. He has multiple good fireballs with different speeds. His EX fireball is really fucking good. It's super fast, it's plus on block, it gives a knockdown. He has good anti-airs. Ryu's problem isn't that he doesn't have good tools. His issue is that his overall toolkit isn't designed to win rounds, and I'll explain what I mean by that. A winning strategy in Street Fighter V looks something like this. You push your opponent to the corner to weaken their defensive options, then you either open them up with throws, or you punish their attempts to escape with big damage. Along the way, you'll use V-meter to control the pace of the match, either by using V-reversal to escape dangerous pressure, or using V-trigger to gain momentum. The two biggest issues with Ryu's design are his V-system and his corner combos. Ryu's V-Trigger 1 has the potential for strong corner sequences. For example, that's a pretty good combo for like no bar and fireball being safe on block. If you have a full meter, you can do that and do an insane amount of damage and stun. The problem is, if the opponent escapes the corner, if they have a corner escape V-reversal, if it's a character like Zeku or Rashid who just escapes the corner easily, if it's something like Kage V-Trigger 1 or Akuma V-Trigger 2 where you can escape the corner while still like maintaining frame advantage, etc. The short duration on the trigger means that it's pretty unlikely that you're going to get another chance at making something strong happen. Even if you get the corner back, well, no, I mean, you're not going to get the corner back. They've got the whole screen to work with just to back away from you. Even if you walk them all the way down to the other end, your trigger is going to run out. He does have strong stuff mid-screen, for example. Really basic, right? I didn't even do the good version of that. I think you're supposed to go to low strong to get more spacing. Yeah, and then you can combo from that. That's pretty good, right? But it's not a game changer the way that better V-triggers are. He only really gets really strong stuff when the opponent is cornered. As for the rest of his V-system, V-Trigger 2 is barely worth talking about. It just exists to give you Twitter highlights by making really big, risky guesses that are not in your favor. V-Skill 1 is okay, but the recovery before you can cancel into a counterattack makes it not that rewarding. And when you consider that Ryu already has a 3-frame normal and he has a frame 3 strike invul reversal already, the counter is just not that useful. And his V-Skill 2 is trash. It's not worth talking about. On his corner combos, Ryu's big issue is that he doesn't have a 1-bar combo in the corner outside of trigger due to the wall bounce of EX Donkey Kick no longer giving a juggle. If he's in this situation and he wants to spend meter to increase his damage, he has to commit 2 bars. And this affects how he can use meter in neutral. So, to give an example, this is a very basic situation where what you would want to do with Ryu, ideally, in a situation like this, is something like this. You use EX Fireball to get a knockdown, push them to the corner, and then start pressuring. Except, now you only have 1 bar. You don't have a big damage threat anymore, not until you build another one. And so you don't get to use, well, you can use EX Fireball that way, but you end up neutering your damage in the long term. So you have to stock up that meter to make the corner threatening as Ryu. I think if they want Ryu to stop being a bottom tier character, They should buff all parts of his V system and allow him to juggle into late hit of DP after EX Tatsu in the corner. In addition to buffing the damage of late hit of DP from 60 to 80, doing this would give you an equivalent corner combo to this mid-screen, which is 80 damage into 140 damage. This would be 140 damage into 80 damage. I think this alone would be enough for Ryu to come up above the other struggle characters, which there's not that many of, because the season is pretty balanced. To buff his triggers, I think VT1 could become a 3-bar trigger with cancels from non-EX Fireball and from EX Donkey Kick to get a juggle to jump strong and maybe land DP or something like that, which I just think would be kind of cool. You could increase the duration from 800 frames to somewhere in the ballpark of 1500 to 2000, probably 1500 because they took away spending meter on specials. They're free now, so 1500 I think makes more sense. And then give him something to do with the trigger where he can spend maybe a third of it to do something pretty strong. Because the direction the design of the game has gone in over the years is that typically a good trigger, you don't intend to use the full duration of it, you spend timer to do something strong, which Ryu can't really do, outside of, I guess, his V-Trigger critical art counts. I think a cool thing to do would be if you could spend a third of your timer to dash cancel your fireball charge. You would get the ability to fake opponents out and anti-air them in situations where you could get punished otherwise. You could use surprise forward dash into throw. You could backdash out of range of V reversals and punish them. You would get a lot of new options from it. As for V-Trigger 2, I think you could give it an option that's somewhat like Misogi, where you spend half of your timer for a combo ender that adds some damage and gives a hard knockdown, but less damage and less advantage than Misogi, obviously, because it's a 2-bar trigger. And just like let Ryu spend it proactively, give him something to do with it, give him some Okizeme. And then as for his V-skills, V-skill 1, just let it cancel earlier, so he gets stronger punishes, because currently there are situations where you'll parry something and you don't have a punish, really, or your punish is very weak. And, I think it needs to be a little bit stronger to justify using it, because he's already got good defense. And then as for V-skill 2, it's fucking speed that shit up. Why is it 25 frames? If it were 20 frames and the counter became active frame 5 instead of frame 10 or whatever it is, I think it's frame 10, right? It would be like an alternative to Colleen V-skill 1. It would be slower to start up, but it would counter moves earlier. And you would probably use that, right? I don't know. That's what I think about Ryu. Please buff this character, Capcom.